everything is now done on John's side, and the UFC now have to find a date and a venue, a place, location. So we're waiting for that. We've got some good news coming soon, hopefully.
Tom Aspinall calls out Jon Jones after Alex Pereira's loss at UFC 313, urging him to sign the contract for the heavyweight title unification bout.
Yeah, John, there's only one way, there's only one thing to do, mate. Sign the contract and let's get a date going. And I know.
At UFC 313, Tom Aspinall's name was one of the most talked about by fans, despite not being part of the event itself. The event's main focus was the light heavyweight title clash between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev, where Pereira's reign as champion came to a sudden end. While Ankalaev's victory was the talk of the night, Aspinall saw an opportunity for himself. He took to social media to share his thoughts on what this outcome meant for the future of the UFC and his own path to a potential showdown with heavyweight champion Jon Jones.
The fight that everybody wants to see right now is Jones and Aspinall, and then there's no doubt that Pereira could fight the winner.
When do you think we would potentially see him back?
This summer.
Okay.
Up until now, the idea of a super fight between Jones and Pereira had been on the table, with both fighters expressing interest in facing off in the UFC's light heavyweight division. However, with Pereira's loss, Aspinall saw the door open for a heavyweight clash between himself and Jones, which had been one of the most anticipated matchups in the sport for some time. The loss to Ankalaev, according to Aspinall, removed the possibility of Pereira fighting for a title in the heavyweight division. While it wasn't entirely out of the realm of possibility that Pereira could still face Jones at light heavyweight, it would no longer hold the same allure, as the title would no longer be on the line.
Obviously it now leaves John with either fighting you or retiring.
Yeah, that's off the table now. The Alex Pereira fight at heavyweight, or any other weight really. I mean, I guess you could still fight him at light heavy, I guess, but it won't be for a title.
Aspinall, who is the interim heavyweight champion, has been vocal about his desire to face Jones for months. In his reaction video to UFC 313, he didn't hold back, calling on Jones to sign the contract and make the fight happen. Aspinall, who has earned his place in the UFC with an impressive record and a title defense against Curtis Blaydes, is now more determined than ever to unify the heavyweight titles. On the other hand, Jones has had a much different path. While Aspinall has been working his way up the ranks in the heavyweight division, Jones has a legendary legacy in the light heavyweight division. He defended his 205-pound title 11 times and is regarded by many as one of the best to ever compete in the UFC.
The UFC is about one guy being the champion of each division. I defended the interim once already. It's almost unheard of, that. It's unprecedented. I thought it was silly the first time, to be honest. The reason that I did it, the first time I fought Curtis Blaydes, it went down as a loss. I got injured. The worst moment of my career, one of the worst moments of my life. I wanted to redeem myself and get the legit victory against Curtis Blaydes because it was unfinished business. Like, that was hurting my ego, and I wanted to prove that I was better than Blaydes, which I did in the rematch, and I defended the interim. Something else, that particular fight was in Manchester, in my hometown. I wanted to fight in my hometown. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do that again in front of a sold out, brand new Co-op Live arena in Manchester, England. I don't know if I'm ever going to have the opportunity to do that again. So for them two reasons, that's why I defended the interim. I'm not doing it again. Like, I've cleared out the rest of the division, undisputed, and that's it. I deserve a shot at being known as the best heavyweight walking around on planet Earth. It doesn't matter on the opponent. Undisputed next.
Jones, despite being one of the most decorated champions in UFC history, has been dismissive of Aspinall, saying the British fighter hasn't done enough to earn a fight with him. Aspinall's title defense against Blaydes was an impressive victory, but Jones has continually downplayed his achievements. This has led to frustration among fans who believe a fight between the two would be one of the biggest in UFC history. But for now, Jones seems focused on other priorities, including his past victories, such as his defense against Stipe Miocic. After Jones defeated Miocic at UFC 309, Miocic announced his retirement from active competition.
He's annoying to me. He's annoying to me. And that's my own personal, he annoys me. I get to you guys, you find it entertaining. But I find him annoying, and I just don't like him. And at the end of the day, if I give him the opportunity to fight me, I want to be so compensated. I want to say it, I want that you money, honestly. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Or else, my life is perfect without him. I don't need him at all, and he needs me. And that's a good place to be in a negotiation.
With Pereira's loss now a factor, it raises questions about whether Jones will still pursue a bout with the Brazilian. A potential fight between Jones and Pereira, which had been a popular topic of conversation in the MMA community, now seems unlikely in the short term. Pereira's loss has likely put a dent in the hype surrounding that potential matchup. But for Aspinall, this could be a golden opportunity to push for his long-awaited fight with Jones.
You know what tonight told me? There's no way I make the Pereira fight.
Okay.
John's too big. Great wrestler. See how he took Stipe down in that first round?
Yeah.
I like Alex Pereira. I like him personally. You know,
But he's the greatest of all time, right?
it just doesn't make sense to make that fight. If they both want it bad enough and they're both hounding me or something, maybe I would do it. It's just Alex Pereira is killing it. Look at his age and what he's doing right now. What's the reason to go up and fight a guy that's so much bigger than you and such a good wrestler?
Dana White has publicly acknowledged the situation surrounding Jones and Aspinall. While there's been much speculation about why the fight hasn't been booked yet, White clarified that the holdup is not due to a lack of interest. In fact, White affirmed that Jones definitely wants to fight, but the major issue is simply when and where the bout will take place. This is a telling statement, as it reflects the logistical challenges involved in organizing a high-profile fight of this magnitude. Both fighters are among the best in their respective divisions, and the fight will require significant planning and coordination.
You were talking about Tom and John. Tom released that video blog a few days ago on the train where he was saying like John's side is holding up the fight. What is he referring to there?
Well, I think that, listen, John Jones definitely wants to fight. Just when and where is what we're working on now.
Do you feel confidence? I think you said John
I'm very
in
confident
summer on first day.
that fight happens. Yeah.
Summer?
Yeah.
John Jones's manager, Malki Kawa, has also weighed in on the situation, shedding some light on the negotiations behind the scenes. According to Kawa, there are ongoing discussions among all parties involved to make the fight happen. However, he pointed out that several factors need to align before an official agreement can be reached. The key terms of the contract and the specifics of the fight need to be finalized, and only then can the fight move forward. This gives a glimpse into the complexities of arranging a super fight in the UFC, especially when both fighters have such high stakes involved.
We sit in negotiations all day long and we talk about things all day long, right? And I think that everybody that's involved in anything to do with any of this stuff wants all these fights to happen, right? I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Do you think it happens?
I think that it depends on certain things and whether or not everybody want to make those certain things happen. And if the answer to everybody else is yes, those certain things happen, then yes, the fight will happen.
Kawa also touched on an important point in the ongoing narrative surrounding John Jones's career. While many fans may debate who the top fighter in the world is, Kawa is firm in his belief that Jones should be regarded as the #1 fighter in the world, one pound-for-pound fighter. His accomplishments inside the octagon, including his long reign as the UFC light heavyweight champion, his consistent dominance over elite competition, and his unmatched skill set all make a strong case for his position atop the rankings. For Kawa, the debate isn't just about who is the best right now, but about respecting Jones's long-standing legacy and the level of competition he's faced throughout his career.
He's the best in the world. I take it personal when people don't have him won in the pound-for-pound rankings. I think that while he's active as a fighter, he should be #1. I think, out of respect to what he's done, he has had the toughest strength of schedule that I think anybody in the history of the sport has had, especially as a champion. He's had the longevity as a champion that no one else has had. And I think whenever he's active, whether that means once a year or twice a year, he should be considered the #1 fighter in the world, pound for pound.
Former UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez remains unconvinced that Aspinall could defeat Jones. He has studied Aspinall's striking and noticed certain patterns that could make him predictable. Given Jones's ability to break down his opponents, identify weaknesses, and neutralize threats, Velasquez doesn't see Aspinall finding a way to win. Jones is known for his meticulous approach to preparation, and Velasquez believes that his deep understanding of his opponent's tendencies would allow him to shut down Aspinall's offense. He stated, "No, I don't think he does beat John Jones. So me, just watching him, I kind of see his pattern a little bit in his striking, the way he comes in and strikes. I think John sees it too. So I think with that just cause John studies. He does his homework. He's a master at this. He analyzes things. He studies you over and over again. I think just for that reason, he's going to know what to do. So I don't think Aspinall beats John." On the other hand, Colby Covington has taken a different stance, openly criticizing Jones and accusing him of avoiding a fight with Aspinall. Covington claims that Jones is fearful of the rising star and that by not taking the fight, he is damaging his legacy. His criticism extends beyond the fight game, as he also brings up Jones's past controversies to question his character.
I know he has to get that win, but do you think Tom Aspinall's the guy to beat John Jones?
For sure. John's scared of him. He's ducking him, man. He don't want to fight That's why he's like, "Oh, I'll vacate the title. I'll fight the number 10 guy." Scared. Why do people think John Jones is a GOAT? He literally destroyed his legacy by ducking Tom Aspinall. The guy's a coward, and he's a woman beater. He beat his John Jones.
Francis Ngannou has also weighed in, pointing out that Jones has shown reluctance to fight Aspinall. While he acknowledges that Jones might not have much to gain from such a matchup beyond financial incentives, he argues that for Aspinall, this fight could define his career. Ngannou also poses an interesting question to fans, asking whether they would rather see Jones face Aspinall or Alex Pereira. He suggests that Aspinall presents the greater challenge, particularly due to his ground game and wrestling, which could test Jones more than Pereira's striking-focused skill set.
He keeps saying he doesn't want Aspinall.
Aspinall need that fight. I don't need it. When you look at it, pretty much true. There's nothing that he's going to make winning that fight if it's not money. But for Aspinall, that will be everything.
Would you rather see him face Aspinall or would you rather see him face Pereira?
Aspinall will be a more challenging fight because Aspinall respond to a ground game better than Pereira. Aspinall will respond better in wrestling than Pereira. He can do whatever he wants.
Israel Adesanya has shared his thoughts as well, speaking highly of Aspinall and his father. He describes Aspinall as a well-rounded and talented athlete with impressive speed. However, when it comes to grappling, Adesanya acknowledges that Jones's black belt level skills place him on another tier. He expresses uncertainty about how a fight between the two would play out, emphasizing that without them stepping into the cage together, it's impossible to know for sure.
But Aspinall, he and his dad, cool dudes, lovely guys as well. But he's the same height as me, if not an inch taller, but thick. And I was like, fuck, you're a lot thicker than I would expect. And the speed, that's the thing that I'm like, okay, that's the danger. But again, grappling, he's a black belt. John it's different. But I don't know, man. They gotta fight, but if they don't ever fight, we'll never know.
Stipe Miocic has an understanding of what it's like to prepare for Jones and has offered his perspective on what Aspinall should expect if they fight. Miocic praises Aspinall's power, movement, and overall ability, noting that his size and athleticism make him a dangerous opponent. However, he believes that Aspinall's key to success would be his composure under pressure. According to Miocic, patience and smart decision-making would be crucial, and if Aspinall can execute a solid game plan without rushing, he could hold his own against Jones.
Get booked with him and John Jones. What's the best advice you'd give Tom Aspinall?
Don't do what I did.
Avoid the liver shot.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? But I think Tommy, that guy, he's super tough and he hits hard. He moves well. He's a big man. I think that he stays calm under the situation, and whatever happens, he just stays calm. I think he'll be fine. He pitches shots. He's smart what he does, and I think he'll do fine.
Daniel Cormier has provided insight into how Jones's weight could play a role in the fight. He believes that a leaner Jones at 215 pounds would be more effective against Aspinall than a heavier version at 245 pounds. Cormier has observed that Jones's added weight has slightly reduced his speed, which was evident in his fight against Cyril Gane. He notes that Gane's movement created some challenges for Jones, and while Jones doesn't make many mistakes, his speed could be a factor against someone as quick as Aspinall.
I bet if he's weighing 215, he would fight Tom Aspinall better than him weighing 245 pounds. In his 205 frame, he could fight Tom Aspinall better than he'd fight him at that 250 because that's not his weight class. While he didn't last long with Cyril, Cyril, he didn't look as fast. He carried more weight. Cyril just did some weird stuff. And John, you don't make mistakes against John.
Sean O'Malley has also spoken about Jones's legacy and the risks involved in taking a fight against Aspinall. Regardless of what happens, O'Malley believes Jones will always be considered one of the greatest fighters of all time. However, he points out that if Jones were to lose to Aspinall, some might argue that he was past his prime, which could affect how people view his overall career.
Tom Aspinall? God damn. It's like everyone, it's like you risk going down as the, no matter what, you don't have to fight again. Greatest of all time, people will say that. You're the greatest of all time, greatest of all time, John Jones. Or you risk it, go fight Tom Aspinall, possibly lose, and then it's like, he was the greatest. Then they're saying, yeah, but he wasn't in his prime.
Frank Mir sees Aspinall as the toughest challenge for Jones at heavyweight, but still gives the edge to Jones due to his wrestling. Mir believes that Jones's ability to take opponents down, control them from the top, and land damaging elbows could be the deciding factor. He also states that even if Jones beats Aspinall, it wouldn't drastically change how people view his legacy, as he is already widely regarded as one of the greatest fighters in history.
I think Tom might have the best chance of anybody to beat John right now. But that being said, I still think John wins the fight just because of his wrestling. I think he puts, Tom on his back and is able to nullify his jiu-jitsu from being top position with his elbows and control. What does John win to take that fight? He goes out there and beats Tom. Is it really going to make or break his career? I don't think anybody gives a shit.
Kamaru Usman considers Aspinall the most dangerous heavyweight in the division right now and sees him as the biggest threat to Jones's reign. However, Usman also emphasizes that Jones needs to prioritize securing his financial future, indicating that while the fight is intriguing, Jones has other considerations beyond just competition.
You hit the nail on the head. I do think Tom Aspinall is the most dangerous heavyweight right now. 100% the biggest threat to pry that belt away from John Jones. But John has got to get that bag. Gets that bag.
30 million cush.
Wait. You keep saying 30. Don't be counting the man's pockets like that. Hey, relax.
No, it's already, the word's already out there, man. People can't keep their mouth shut. 30 million?
At the same time, he believes Jones's unbeaten career deserves to remain intact, allowing the veteran champion to retire without a blemish on his record. In his view, Aspinall is on the rise and has the tools to dominate for years to come. But he also sees Jones as a legend whose achievements should be preserved rather than challenged at this stage. Despite his personal reservations, Du Plessis admits that the fight seems inevitable.
Aspinall is young, he's hungry. You have Jones, who is definitely at the end of his career, 38 years old. I don't need to see this because he's never been beaten. So I don't need to see John Jones fight Aspinall because I don't want either one of them to lose. I want John Jones to retire unbeaten. Of course, he had that DQ for 12-6, which is now legal, but unbeaten and the legend that he is. And I want him to retire and Aspinall goes on to be the next big thing.
Michael Bisping has given high praise to Aspinall, calling him the fastest, quickest, and most powerful heavyweight on the planet. In Bisping's eyes, Aspinall should be considered the favorite against Jones, as he believes that no one in the division can currently beat him. While showing great respect to Jones, Bisping makes it clear that he sees Aspinall as the top heavyweight right now.
He's the fastest, quickest, most powerful heavyweight on the planet. He's the favorite against John Jones, and no man alive can beat Tom Aspinall, in my humble opinion. And that's with the greatest of respect to John Jones.
With all these perspectives, the discussion about a potential Jones versus Aspinall fight remains heated. So what are your thoughts about this? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.